We call this the tunnel. It's a tunnel of the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California, which is home to Los Angeles Lakers, the LA Sparks professional basketball teams, as well as a number of other sports teams. Now, this is an unassuming picture, but this walk from the player's entrance all the way to the locker room has transformed into recent years into a runway. We have seen NBA players, WNBA players, athletes of all disciplines use this space in order to transform and communicate themselves, their creativity, showcase their fashion sense, and sometimes their opinions on social justice issues as well, because they understand that there is a strong connection between the way that you dress and how you perform. So an example of this is LeBron James. I'm sure some of you know who he is. He's one of the greatest athletes in the world, and certainly one of the best basketball players in the world. This is him on an average Wednesday night. He's getting ready to play the New York Knicks, and it's a regular in-season game. This next photo, he's dressed a bit differently. This is also another in-season game, but it's a Tuesday night, and he's getting ready to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, if I place these two photos side by side, I would love to gauge from the audience, which one do you believe LeBron believes which game is more important? Do you think that the game number 1 is more important? Raise your hands if you believe it's game number 1. Or raise your hand if you believe it's game number 2 that's more important to him. Interesting. So it is game number 2. Game number 1, he's just walking into work. It's a casual night. He's getting ready to get the job done. But game number 2 is a night that LeBron James became the all-time highest scorer in the history of the NBA. He's wearing a suit. He's looking quite formal. His jewelry is a bit bigger, a bit shinier, but he understands the gravity of this moment and the significance, not only for him and his career, but also for the entire history of the NBA. And I want you to understand what's happening in this moment, because it's not that he was awarded on this night. This was the night that he set and broke the record. And so he still had to perform after he walked through the tunnel. Because like many other athletes, LeBron James understands that there is a powerful connection between the clothes that you wear and the way that you perform. And how you perform determines who you become. My name is Sandrine Zoku, and I write about the business of sports online. I cover all topics with respect to sports, including the business of creativity and fashion. And I believe that the quickest and most effective way to become who you are meant to be is to dress like them. Now that we have and understand that strong connection, I want to dig into the science a little bit. In 2012, you had 2 researchers by the name of Hajo Adams and Adam D. Galinsky that were able to gather information from a survey they conducted that led them to understand that there was a powerful connection between a white lab coat as well as characteristics of attentiveness and carefulness. So with this understanding, they developed a hypothesis. The wearers of the white lab coats would then subsequently improve and have improved performance within these areas. And so what they did is that they set up 3 separate experiments, the first of which included 58 undergraduate students, some of whom they had wearing the white lab coat and others that they didn't, but all of whom were forced to take a Stroop test, which is essentially that tests your sustained attention. And so after this, it was determined that those who were wearing the white lab coat actually reported 50% fewer errors on their Stroop test than those that weren't. And with this understanding, they moved on to experiments 2 and 3, which really dug into the symbolic meaning of the white lab coat. And what they found was that those who were told that the white lab coat was a doctor's coat performed better than those who were told that it was simply just a painter's coat. And so there's a powerful connection between the meaning of the garment societally, but also to the individual, that had a tangible effect, of course, on their performance. And so with these results, these researchers developed a concept, the idea of enclothed cognition. This concept essentially states that there is a powerful connection between the clothes that you wear and your psychological processes. So the clothes that you wear determine how you behave. Now, there's essentially two separate ways that I believe that your clothes can really impact you. And the first, I believe all of us are very familiar with, and that is perception. The clothes that you wear will determine how others perceive you, and then ultimately, how you experience the world. And interestingly enough, the industry where you'll see this play out more than others is in politics. In politics, they genuinely understand the impact of strategy and using fashion as a political advantage. In this image, you'll see Barack Obama during his first presidential campaign. And you'd be hard-pressed to find an image of Barack Obama during this time where he did not have his rolled-up sleeves. But why is that the case? Barack Obama wanted to communicate two things. He wanted to communicate his trust as well as his relatability. And rolling up his sleeves was able to tell the American audience that he was willing to shake off formality and really dig into the work. It had a tangible effect on the way that he was perceived and ultimately swayed American voters to vote for him. Because, of course, he won the presidency twice. So again, perception is something that matters tremendously. But at the same time, there is something that is much more effective and much more impactful. And if you don't take anything away from this talk, this is what I want you to take note of. We talked about perception, how others see you. Self-concept is about the way that you see yourself, depending upon the clothes that you're wearing. There's a popular quote, if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you play good. This pretty much exemplifies self-concept. It was said by a gentleman who is an NFL player, a very successful Hall of Famer, Deion Sanders, a very stylish man, on and off the field, because he understood how he felt when he was wearing the clothes that he wanted to wear and how he wanted to show up. And of course, it had a measurable impact on the field. Another person that understands self-concept is President William Ruto. I think we're all pretty familiar with him. If you look at the photo on the left, you'll see him wearing a very specific garment. This is the Kaunda suit. It was popularized by former president of Zambia after they gained their independence from British colonial rule. This is a very specific garment in that it stands for African independence. In the photo on the right, you'll see him wearing head-to-toe cultural garb of the people of northern Kenya, the Turkana people, during their cultural festival that they host every spring. He's intentional about the clothes that he wears. What he's looking to communicate to Kenyans and to the rest of the world is that there's a strong connection between the highest office in this country and their culture. And so he, with this understanding of self-concept, is able then to communicate to the rest of the world who he is and also who Kenyans are. But the tricky thing about self-concept is that it can be taken away from you. 10 months ago, I was scrolling on LinkedIn, and I stumbled upon a headline that stated that the Kenyan parliament had banned all traditional African clothing from parliament. The speaker of the parliament said that traditional African clothing, including the Kaunda suit, was not fit for the seriousness of the proceedings of the House and its committees. Now, as an African woman, I do not know of anything more formal than traditional African clothing. It is fabric and designs that have been iterated upon hundreds, if not thousands of years, and have helped us and our ancestors usher in new life and help to protect us and provide even in times of war. And so clothing is a part of who we are, and traditional African clothing, especially in the House that is creating future-defining legislation, it will certainly be who we become. Unfortunately, to this day, there's still a ban on traditional African clothing within Parliament. And so we really have to ask ourselves, particularly in this country, who do we want to become? And subsequently, how do they dress? Now, I know some of you have a little bit of hesitation in that you don't feel fashionable or you don't know what the trends are, but I promise That is not where you're going to find the answer. I want to help you all, if you'll indulge me a little bit, to do a little exercise that I like to do in moments where I really want to perform and I want to get a little bit of an inspiration that's not from Pinterest. I want to help to introduce you guys to your highest future potential self. And the way that I do that is through a thought exercise that was written by author Brianna Wiest. And it's a guided meditation that helps you understand and visualize your highest potential self, because they will give you the answer. And so if you'll indulge me, if you close your eyes, get comfortable, and take a couple of deep breaths, we will begin.
I want you to ask your highest potential future self to enter the room. This person can be you at any age, at any point in your life. Let them show you who they are. I want you to observe your future self. Look at every detail of their being. Look at their hair or their jewelry and their clothes. Look at how they carry themselves. Look at how they're smiling at you. Sit with them for as long as you need and let them tell you everything they need to. In this room of white glowing light, there is you and there is your highest potential future self standing face to face. I want you to close your eyes and embrace them. And as you put your arms around them, I want you to begin to merge with your highest potential future self until you are one. And when you pull back, you realize that your hands are now their hands. Your clothes are now their clothes. Your hair is now their hair. Everything that you observed of them when you first sat down, you look down and you now see on you.
So the question I'd like to leave you all with is, what were they wearing? Thank you.